What's up, YouTube? This is Trolli CCG here with a totally awesome deck profile. Slightly different from any totally awesome deck profile you've seen before. This is Toadally Dinos. Main engine being Dinomist monsters, which is awesome. Or totally awesome, however you want to use the ridiculous term that they've given this card instead of Toad, but whatever. It's we'll take it. But anyways, we'll jump into this Dinomist deck profile here, or Toadally Dinos. First off, we've got 3 Dinomist Pteran. This guy, he destroys a monster by battle, he gets to search any Dinomist card in your deck. So, super useful, super helpful. Searches cards, great, awesome. We love searching cards. We love more cards in our hands. Dinomist Plesios. Doesn't search any cards, but he's a higher scale. Anytime that he's on the field as a monster, his effect is that your opponent loses 100 attack for every Dinomist monster you control. Or, sorry, every Dinomist card you control. So whether it be the continuous spell, Pendulum monsters, or Dinomist monsters in general, you get 100 attack loss. So if you got 1 out there and you got 4 cards in the field, 400. If you've got 2 guys out there, that's a total of 800. So it's not just 1 card, so it can add up really quick. So you can get almost 1,000 attack loss if you've got 2 of these guys out there and Pendulum's in the spell. So it's kind of cool, super helpful to get over ridiculous, stupid boards that you can't kill with special summoning. So you just normal summon, set your skills, set your card, destroy stuff. It's kind of cool. Next, we've got 2 Dinomist Stegosaur. He's a lower scale. He doesn't have the greatest effects, but if another Pendulum monster you control battles opponent's monster, after damage calculation, you can destroy them both. So kind of makes your opponent, have to deal with this guy first. Kind of useful. I don't really use him for their monster effects, or this guy in for his monster effect anyways. This one is actually kind of cool. Ankylos? Call him Ankles. He banishes any monster destroyed by battle by a Dinomist monster. So kind of cool. Him and Plesios together make some kind of crazy plays. I don't typically use their monsters effect. They're usually just pendulum scales, or I'm using them to make totally awesome. So I don't typically use their monsters effect. You can. There's actually some cool plays you can make with Plesios and Ragna Zero. Just summoning them and then making Ragna Zero with another 4, and then just running your opponent's monsters and drawing cards, all that fun stuff. So it's kind of cool. Some different plays you can make. So this is the Dinomist engine, except for the spell, which we'll show you in a minute. 10 cards, 5 higher scales, 5 lower scales. This is the best consistency that I've run. You can change that if you like. It's really preference. But this is what's worked for me, so that's up to you guys. Next, we've got 3 Pendulum Sorcerer. And then the 2 search. These are the only searches that I have for Pendulum Sorcerer. Reason being is you can pop the Dinomist skills, and then with the continuous spell on the field, you get to add this back to your hand, because that's what the continuous spell does, and I'll show you that in a second. But it kind of opens up plays with this, popping cards, adding these 2 guys, and then adding this back to your hand for either a normal summon or another play later, or if you special summon him with you special summon the Performapal Pendulum Sorcerer in another way. Like if you summon it, like special summon him either by Goblindbergh or 10 Goldfish, it gives you huge plays that you can just break open the game with. So kind of cool. I really like Pendulum Sorcerer. Opens up huge plays for the Dinomist cards. And I also run the 1 Luster, so gives you more options and more things to Pendulum Summon. Gives you more chances to get this guy out. Typically, if I get this guy off, I win. I haven't lost yet getting his effect off, unless they've had like an immense amount of back row and I'm just trying to bait it out. So I love this little engine itself, between the draw power and then getting more rank 4s, or level 4s to make rank 4s, and then this opens up Ignister plays, which is awesome, especially with all the Dinomist cards you control. Oops, sorry. So you're talking about a total of 16 Pendulum monsters right there alone. They give you the ability to Pendulum Summon or make 4s. So really cool. Love it. Great. Probably one of my favorite parts of the deck, except for a few other cards. But anyways, the last 2, I'm running 2 Dragodies. These guys are just, the reason I like them because they're a lower scale, and I was missing just a little bit of kind of muscle in the lower scale. For Pendulum Summoning. He's searchable by Rhoda, which is kind of cool. I don't play the field spell because I don't like dropping cards. Like, I feel like every card in this deck can be useful in a way, so I don't like just tossing it in the grave This is the reason why I don't play. I'm not maining Twin Twister in the deck. Because I feel like game 1, or you want to make, either going first or second regardless, you want to make sure that you can get off as much as you can, because most people aren't going to be ready for how fast this deck can just explode. So these two guys kind of give you that, either going first or second gives you that scale that's searchable, or his Pendulum effect, it lets you discard a card to half your opponent's attack, which I don't like doing, but in some cases it kind of saves your ass. But it's searchable. That's the main thing, giving you a chance to kind of build your hand and make huge plays. So I like him a lot. Warrior 4, 1500. Next, we've got Goblindbergh. And we also run the 3/10 Goldfish. So these mainly for making rank 4 plays, or Pendulum summoning the Pendulum Sorcerer, or sorry, normal summoning, special summoning Pendulum Sorcerer, to make those plays where you're popping your scales or popping cards in the field to build your hand to make huge plays later on. So if you can like normal summon this and special summon Pendulum Sorcerer, and then have like just random scales up that you can pop to be able to set up your hand to Pendulum summon everything back again. That's what really opens up these plays. Is like you normal summon a 10 Goldfish, or a Water Monster, or Pendulum Sorcerer, and pop some either Pendulum Sorcerer and another scale that you've got, or another card on the field to search out your Guitar Turtle and your Lizardraw. Play those, draw your cards. You'll have a higher skill, and you just place a lower skill, and you've still got this massive Pendulum summon, and you haven't even like started your turn yet. So you can make huge plays. These guys are great. Wouldn't run any less. Goblindbergh, I've been kind of playing around with him, but he's searchable, so that's the main thing, is being able to have immediate access to those plays. Having as many roted targets as I can feel like are necessary, whether it be scales or Goldfish. So my second favorite part of this deck, Shadow Mist. Being able to have access to Darklaw, or ditching him in the grave for an extra Bubbleman, which we play 3 of those, is just too good. Like making Darklaw or Danklaw and Totally Awesome, and then like going first, nobody's gonna have too many answers for that. And a lot of times I can make like Totally Awesome or Darklaw, and then like a Caragorgon or something to protect from targets, just something dumb from your opponents. So they really have to work to get over this field. Sometimes you can make 2 Toads and a Shadow Mist. Just make some dumb plays. Like I haven't really had a time where I haven't opened up a Toad, or if I've opened up a Toad, it's usually followed by a Shadow Mist, or I see some kind of Shadow Mist play, just because there's so many ways to search them out. But I mean, it just opens up huge plays. I mean, being able to special summon or Goldfish into Shadow Mist, or Goblindbergh into Shadow Mist, getting that mass change and making the Shadow or the Darklaw play, and a lot of times like Max C hurts this deck a lot. So being able to like kind of get like fight back at your opponent if they Max C you and hitting them with the Darklaw, kind of punish them for making that draw play, is kind of awesome. So I really like Shadow Mist, and a lot of decks these days are still like tossing shit in the grave and playing from grave or just anything. So like stopping this or having this in the deck has been nothing but fun and positive. So I haven't had anything negative to say about Shadow Mist. I was kind of skeptical at first, but it's been nothing but great for me. So that's all the monsters. Next we've got, like I said earlier, the Dinomist Charge. So this guy, this card right here is a continuous spell. When it's activated, you can search out a Dinomist monster from your deck and add it to your hand. If a Dinomist monster on the field is destroyed or just destroyed in general and sent face up to the X deck, you can add that card, one of those Dinomist cards, back to your hand. You can do that once per turn, and only once per card. So it's really cool to have the Pendulum play, or the Pendulum Sorcerer play, where you play this, you add your skills, you Pendulum Summon, or you summon the Pendulum Sorcerer, you pop your skills, you add that Dinomist card back to your hand. You can normal summon him later, or you can Pendulum Summon and place him back in the other skill to make your 7 or your 3, because Dinomist is only 3 and 6. So you'll have the guitar, I mean the Guitar Turtle, and then the level 3. So it really makes some stupid plays. This card is just really good. They kind of made it broke for the Dinomist. This card is, to me, it's a must at 3. Just kind of shortening down the deck and thinning it out and getting all your pieces as early as possible. Next we've got 3 E-Call for obvious reasons. We want to see Bubbleman, we want to see Shadow Mist quickly as possible, and then we've got the one Rhoda. So those are kind of self-explanatory. And then, you know, the Rhoda searches out the Goblindbergh and then the Dragodies for the empowerment lower scale, which I really like. Then the obvious 3 instant fusions, which is just crazy. You can really abuse Norden in this deck. And I'll show you one of the extra deck cards that make that possible. Next we've got Mass Change. We just play the one Mass Change. One, either because you don't really want to see this. You don't really want to draw it. You want to search it. If you draw, it's not the worst thing because you can make acid plays, which I do play acid in the extra deck. You can make acid plays, just a bigger monster, or you can make the obvious Dark Wall play. So I just play the one. It hasn't really. I haven't wanted more. I haven't needed more. One has been great. I either draw it or I don't, or I just search it. So it's been helpful. I play the one Foolish just to set up the instant fusion play, or if I really need a Bubbleman in the grave for the instant fusion play, or I'm sorry, if I really need a Bubbleman in my hand, I can drop the Shadow or the Shadow Mist to get the Bubbleman. Just the instant fusion play. You can play Upstart or something over this. I like it. There's a couple times I was lacking a instant fusion target, so I was having to like normal summon a monster and then instant fusion for Norden, and I feel like it was kind of wasteful. So I really liked the and the cool thing is if you draw the Mass Change and you have Shadow Mist, or you can just drop the Shadow Mist, instant fusion to Norden, normal summon, make the rank 4 play, and you've got, you know, Shadow Mist sitting in defense position or wherever you put them in, to make the Mass Change play. So crazy cool plays with Foolish. Is, to me, it just it just advances your game state and giving you more options. Next, I'm running the last but not least the 2 MSTs, because either one, you should pop your opponent's back row or stop dumb plays with things. I didn't like Twin Twister for obvious reasons. I didn't like dumping things that are combo pieces from my hand into my grave. I really liked just being able to hit something. And with MST2, you can hit one of your Dinomist skills, and then with the continuous spell, it just adds back to your hand. So it opens up, it gives you like a better opportunity to make plays, rather than Twin Twister, which is like you draw, like say if you're trying to top deck and you top deck Twin Twister, it kind of hurts you because you don't have another card to activate and discard it with. So I like Typhoon, bring in Typhoon deck, run MST, do it big. So yeah, that's the main deck, 40 cards. We'll go to the extra deck. So extra deck, we're running 2 Totally Awesomes, and they are totally awesome. You can run 3, I just use 2. This extra deck space is kind of thin with the build that I'm running, so I like just the 2. You can constantly recycle them over and over again and just abuse the heck out of them. So just the 2, and then the obvious, I play 2 Behemoth Shark. Just need 2. You can recycle him as well with Emerald. I don't think I've ever thought I needed more Behemoth Sharks. Typically, if you use both of them, you've already won, or you just don't know what you're doing. Probably a little bit of both. Next, we've got the obvious Norden, and then the 2 Mass Change targets. So you got Dark Wall and Acid. Acid's cool for, you know, destroying spells and traps, and then the attack loss. And if you play Dweller, you know, he's going to be a 3100 beater. So it's kind of cool just to have that play if you ever need it. There's been a few times where I'm like, crap, I really could use Acid. So he's there. He's nice to have. Of course, we've got the Ignister. Makes cool plays. I've only made him a few times. Very cool plays. You know, most times if you see Ignister, it's just like, oh shit. Make some cool plays with them, with popping the scales, and of course shuffling cards back in your opponent's deck. But you know, he's also a 2850 beater, so nice to have if you can make the play. Then you get to recycle your Pendulum cards later for having Luster and another Pendulum card in your extra deck. So I really enjoy those. Next we've got Utopia and Utopia Lightning. Just for obvious reasons, getting over cards that activate in the grave, or big beaters that you can't get over anything else. So he's definitely been helpful. I haven't ever thought about taking him out. So useful in terms of getting over big things that you just can't do normally. Next we got Abyss Dweller. Super cool card in this deck. So making him with Water Monster and making your Totally Awesome 2700, or your Behemoth Shark 31, or your, like I said, or your Acid 21. It's just too good. Stopping graveyard effects. You can't make Dark Law, making Dweller and a Shark just as good. Love it. Wouldn't you can run too? I would just run because I'm running kind of a weird 4. Kiernan. So I'm super high on this card right now because of multiple reasons. One, it kind of makes your opponent really have to play around them, especially playing ABC, because even if they have the Buster Dragon out there and they try to target your cards, you can redirect the target, or it just makes him make really stupid plays to get over him, and it kind of saves you a turn. I mean, 2450 is kind of big, and you can just make some crazy plays. Like, I've had people with different targets on like the Spell and Trap for Metal Foes, and like targeting other cards, and I'll redirect it, target one of my Pendulum cards, and add it back to my hand. Like, it's just they have to play around it, and it's hard. And I didn't realize how good he was until I started playing him in certain situations, and I've never regretted him putting in the extra deck and leaving a space for him. He's been so helpful, like making him totally awesome, and Dank Law is just too good. Next we've got Castel. Obvious reasons, get rid of cards we don't like. Anti-spell, obviously. Stegosaur Merle, hate running him because he's so weak, but you need him if something dumb happens and you can't get Totally Awesome's back. Or you just want to recycle some monsters to search them out. So, like him, get a card, whatever. He is what he is. My last and 15 card of this extra deck is Spider Shark. This guy is just too real. I've made him a lot of times where I know my opponents had like Warning or Strike. And I've made him with knowing I have knowing I have a Norden in my graveyard, or making him with Instant Fusion. Reason being is because once he's destroyed, he can special summon one water monster from your graveyard. So like you bait your opponent out on this, like make your opponent kill it. Because once you do, you get the Norden back, you get another monster back, and you make the Bahamut Shark play, or whatever play you need to, and you bait it out your opponent's back. So they did damage to themselves for no gain. Like, you're going to be able to special summon monsters back. Or you at least get a monster back, because you get special summon a water monster. So if you don't have Norden, and you just need a monster, and you want to bait some stuff out, this is the way to go. Because his second effect is kind of cool, or his first effect is kind of cool too. He can attach one and make your opponent's monsters all lose 100 or 1,000 attack. So he essentially makes himself a 3,600 beater and can get over bigger cards. So I love this guy. I didn't think of ever running him at 2 because he doesn't come up too often, but when he does, this card is just I love it. I don't know why this card hasn't been thought about more often. He's absolutely insane for making those plays, especially with Instant Fusion. The cool thing about playing Instant Fusion at 3, besides consistency standpoint, is being able to cycle him with Toad, and being able to use him with this guy. So Instant Fusion is just crazy abusive in this deck, especially with this guy. Being able to just Instant Fusion for a Bubbleman and making Bahamut Shark to make a Toad, way too much fun. I enjoy this deck so much. We've been working on this day and night. You can make so many changes to it, however you like. There's a lot of options that you can run different. You can run Summoner Monk. You don't have to run any of the Performapals. It's all preference to me. This is just what I've enjoyed testing and playing. We've done really well at locals with this. We've done really well just in general playing this deck, and it's tons of fun. And it's not that expensive except for the Totally Awesomes and Instant Fusions. And of course this retarded guy that people have hyped. But regardless, guys, thanks for watching. If you guys got any questions or have any combo questions or want to know what's better to run, or have any questions, or have I run this, how do I like it, anything at all, guys, leave us a comment, send us a message. That's it. Thanks for watching, guys.